Hi guys, Piotr here. This is LiteFinance Global YouTube channel. As usual, it's my pleasure to be with you again. Well, not everyone wants to follow this price action. Not everyone wants to follow the horizontal lines, demand supply zones. Some really like to have some crosses when it comes to the moving averages, maybe some oscillators and stuff like this to try to follow the trend, trying to trade base maybe on a higher time frame. Well, to be honest with you, because I'm really open person, right? And I do understand many different things. I do remember when I started to trading, I used to use many different indicators. So from time to time, I'm doing the round on YouTube looking for something interesting, and to be honest with you, that's what we are going to discuss today. The one I found, it might be useful for many of you. All kudos to that particular guy who prepared that strategy I'm going to describe. It's called Jackpot strategy. So eventually, if you want to find out more, then I strongly encourage you to dig deeper. It's a little bit different what I'm talking about usually, and really again I found quite interesting. So well, there you go, the Jackpot strategy. Before we start, again, best wishes for you or your families for the 2022. I wish you, if you are trading the long side, only green pips. If you are trading the short side, only the red pips. With that being said, let's start right here, right now with the Jackpot strategy. Well, we are going to need a few indicators. And what I found very interesting, it was the approach when it comes to the Bollinger Band, because it's completely different parameters. Instead of a usual 20, or with what I do prefer, and if you do remember, we were discussing with very short-term period trades, like scalping, day trading, sometimes it's worth to move lower than 20. With this approach, with the Jackpot strategy, we are going to use the interval of 200, right? So that's the Bollinger Band, and we are using 200. As you can see here, that's the Bollinger Band, that's the mid Bollinger Band, and that's the bottom, right? That's showing when it comes to the top. When the price is above the midline, showing where is the next resistance. Of course, in case of the pullback, that's showing when is the first kind of the support or the second kind of the support, and I really like it. Then what we have, the yellow one is the 9-period moving average, and then the blue one is the 50-period moving average. Just to be perfectly clear, 9 yellow, the blue is 50, as you can see here on that picture. And finally, what we have is nothing else than the Ichimoku cloud, where all the spans have been removed. So we have just the cloud to confirm eventually some trades. So what's the approach? The cross when it comes to the 9 and 50 moving average is some kind of the signal, right? So in that case, what we have to remember that once we have a cross, especially with the confirmation when both moving averages are going, for example, above the midline, that's quite strong signal. At the same time, as you can see, once we got the crossover here, also because we know the clouds are moving forward, we got some signal when it comes to the change, the direction of the trend when it comes to the clouds, right? With that being said, that's the first what we are looking for is the cross, right? Once we have a cross, 30 pip stop below the cross, all right? That's the name of the game. Then your first target in case whatever we are crossing is the next Bollinger. In that case, it was the top of that Bollinger. Well, what also I found useful, that you might want to use the pullbacks towards 50 in conjunction with the cloud. You might want to use as a possibility of the reopen, right? You may also want to try let it run. You may want to switch and watch higher time frames, because once we hit, as on our example, once we hit the first target on the lower time frame for our chart, we might switch to the higher time frame, in that case daily, and also watch what is going on here, trying to navigate, trying to partially let this trend run, right? In that case, we were discussing USD PLN. Well, let's have a look what we have, dollar yen, I'm so sorry. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the euro dollar. And here again, as you can see, we were already below the mid Bollinger Band. Then we got that cross. At the same time, we got the cloud moving lower. So the trade hit quite significantly and fast the first target. Unfortunately, in that case, to be honest with you, we never get very close to the 50 moving average to try to reopen. But what it was significant that the 9 moving average crossed below the bottom of the Bollinger, suggesting the strong of that particular trend. As you can see, if we are going to get back earlier, when the first time we've seen the 9 moving average been crossing through the mid Bollinger Band, then the pullback towards the mid Bollinger Band hit also the 50 moving average once, right? There was a possibility of re-entry and finally hit the target. So again, when I've been walking through that strategy, that's really why I found it might be a very useful, interesting tool into your arsenal. Of course, guys, again, you have to do your own research. You have to do your homework, because no one else can do that for you, right? It might be pretty interesting to trying to automate this as well, right? So that would be quite nice. Also, what I've learned, right, is that, for example, if we are well oversold and we are crossing the fast moving average is crossing, for example, from the bottom, crossing through the bottom of the Bollinger Band, that could be also your first signal. Then we had second with the pullback and strong rally. Well, I'm pretty sure it's worth to check, it's worth to watch, it's worth to do the homework, it's worth to do the research. It really might be very useful tool, especially if we are going to check another example. In that case, it's 4-hour dollar Canadian chart, where we are crossing the 9 moving average from the bottom is crossing the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Then we also have the cross when it comes to the 50 moving average, and then cloud is changing the direction. All these pullbacks, right, even after hitting the mid Bollinger as the first target, pullback trying to go long or waiting for the cross of the mid Bollinger Band, pullback, nice pullback, hitting the target, again the pullback hitting the target, and again hitting the pullback hitting the target. Okay, here would be our first challenge when it comes to the fight with the possible stop loss. But then again, we were crossing here, few tests, hit the mid as the first target, pull back into mid, hitting the next target. Very promising, guys. It was my pleasure to prepare this video for you. Wish you great next trading day. Leave the comments below. Please subscribe and see you around. Take care and goodbye.